Since I've been out here for the, I don't know, past 30 minutes or so, I have seen 3 different officers go after 3 different drivers for moving these barricades that you see behind me. We are live tonight at a condom giveaway on North Main where there is a strip of bars, and as you can see behind me, organizers are ready to pass out more free protection. Over the weekend, 8 large bins like the one that I'm standing in right now have been filled with debris, and just by taking a look behind me, you can see how much room is in one of these containers. Homicide detectives are combing through evidence to find out who is behind Thompson's death. They say a Cassiano Homes resident found his body around 10 o'clock in the morning. The good news is the leak has been capped and a CPS Energy crew was able to leave just moments ago and families were able to return home. But go ahead and take a look behind me at all of this road construction. In the netted area, that is where the gas leak occurred. And that the problem has become so much of a concern that they even set up this makeshift plank to walk from the street to their house without getting in the water. I noticed before you did talk about mudslinging. Why do you say that? Do you feel that that was a problem during this campaign?
Well, clearly in the last 2 weeks when early voting started, Ms. Jones started slinging buckets of mud on me.
You can tell a lot of people came out here tonight to pay tribute to her. They say what makes her death even more difficult to process is the fact that police believe she may have been killed by a drunk driver. All right, well, they just started the fireworks. The countdown just went off. I mean, they're beautiful. And I'm standing here with Benjamin Franklin, who has been walking this earth for many years now. Tell me, what do you think of this display?
It kind of reminds me of the bombs bursting in air over Yorktown.
Now, I'm standing here with Ivan, the horse that was taking us around. I'd pet him, but I'm a little scared. But Ivan does really well in the heat, according to the managers here. They say another thing that they try to do is make sure that they keep these horses in the shade as much as possible. Reporting live from downtown, Christina Coleman, Fox News at 9. There is broken glass all over this grassy area from Saturday night from these car break-ins. You've got what you just saw right there. If you walk a little further with me, you've got more glass and big pieces of it. And that's not it. As soon as you're driving from the highway, you can see even more. Like, look at this piece. Another. It looks like it's a window. You can hardly see me from where I'm standing in this alley because of all this brush. But believe it or not, emergency crews tried to make their way through here to get to a house fire earlier this month. Unfortunately, they had to take another route. A fire on June 9th ripped through this home on Basswood Drive. No one was injured. The family wasn't home, but there was one problem.
The engine that was actually closest to it was engine 19, and that engine was not selected due to a GPS error.
The dispatch system used by the San Antonio Fire Department for nearly 2 years now sent a crew from Fire Station 37 to the scene first. It was about 3 miles away. Records show it took 4 minutes and 53 seconds for them to reach the fire. However, engine 19 was closer, less than 1.5 miles away from the scene. It only took them 1 minute and 19 seconds to get there once they were finally dispatched. Teresa Castillo is grateful she wasn't home at the time.
Just imagine, we were out, okay? We were on vacation, but if we had been there, we would be dead by now.
Neighbors watched as more and more firefighters got to the house that night.
When they knocked the garage, all the fire came up to them.
We're just happy that we survived it because we were not here.
And all the fire was coming. I said, man, it's going to come next door.
The local Professional Firefighters Association says the GPS signals should be tested more before they're depended on for emergencies.
They're playing Russian roulette with the people's lives, and it's going to come back to bite them if they don't fix the problem.
These newer stations are built with a lot more iron and brick and that kind of thing than the old stations, and so the GPS signal has a harder time getting out. And so what we've done is we've ordered about 20 GPS repeaters to be placed in all of the stations.
Spurs music blasted downtown moments after the mayor and Charles Barkley met face-to-face.
I never met a mayor with a sense of humor before.
Barkley joked for weeks about San Antonio on national television.
Victoria is the secret down there.
The mayor followed it up by creating a funny YouTube video criticizing Barkley and his lack of championship rings.
We have 4 NBA championship rings and on our way to a 5th. And you? Okay.
The two laughed about it today in front of the Alamo.
I want to thank you for taking the time. I know you got a busy schedule for making that video. It was funny.
They also talked about life in general.
So you went to Stanford?
I did.
You got a brother too, huh?
I have a twin brother.
Barkley previously joked about the size of the women in San Antonio and the things to do here. But after touring the Riverwalk and hanging out with the ladies once again,
I like the women.
He reiterates how much he does like the Alamo City, from the Riverwalk to our team.
I did pick the Spurs to win, so y'all give me some credit.
Fortunately, this child is still alive after surviving what police call severe abuse.
I saw a man that I thought loved my daughter.
21-year-old Alexandria Cifuentes says she would never hurt her daughter, Perseus Scarlett Cifuentes. She is the 9-month-old, seen here with 9 broken bones. Cifuentes and her ex-boyfriend Brock Alonzo were recently indicted. The two are charged with striking the child with an object last August, then failing to seek proper medical attention. But Cifuentes says the allegations are false. She blames her former boyfriend.
Why do you think he would do that? He had hate for the father of my child. He had hate for him.
Cifuentes says she took Perseus to the hospital 3 times last August during the 2 weeks that Alonzo was living with her. But she says doctors misdiagnosed her daughter.
You saw that your daughter had missing hair. Her fingers were swollen. Just, you not once didn't think she was being abused?
I honestly did not think that. Like, of course, my mind, I felt I was naive at the time, you know, and you have 2 different doctors with degrees sitting there telling you her hair loss is natural for a child. And, you know, your daughter's fingers are swollen because of this and that. You know, they bring you paperwork with like these special names. They told me to just sit there and give her Benadryl.
Cifuentes has medical documents from August 14th indicating the doctor thought Perseus had dermatitis. As for Alonzo, she said he hit the road after police questioned them last August.
That day that he left, he never came back.
She says she wants to find out what was going through his head when he was with her daughter.
She was a precious 9-month-old baby. She could sit up on her own, but she couldn't even crawl. She couldn't walk. Like, why? I don't understand why somebody would even hurt a child.
Alonzo was arrested early yesterday morning and he was released today on a $30,000 bond. As for Cifuentes, she says she plans on turning herself in tomorrow. Christina Coleman, Fox News at 9. A fired-up team huddle starts a local basketball game that soon gets national media coverage because of this. A USA chant by some Alamo Heights fans at a playoff game against Edison High School, a school with a predominantly Hispanic population. The Alamo Heights superintendent wasn't pleased.
We normally are thrilled when people chant USA. We are extremely patriotic. We love our country, but at this particular time, this wasn't an international competition. This was a local game, and we just felt like it was inappropriate.
Last March, students from Cedar Park led a similar chant against Lanier High School, another SAISD school with a predominantly Hispanic population. This time, though, SAISD has filed an incident report with the UIL.
If we did not have this 2 years in a row, perhaps, we may not have done this. But you know what? We're now starting to see a pattern, and we want that pattern to stop.
Just kind of annoys me that people are so sensitive like that, and for all the wrong reasons.
In Alamo Heights, some parents think the chant was blown out of proportion.
It seemed like some little something that has blown completely out of text.
I think it was a bunch of students saying USA, chanting positive things for their team. Why do people always have to believe that they're saying something negative about someone else?
If we can't say USA, USA, there's something wrong.
Despite that theory, it was hard to find anybody at Edison High School who believed the USA chant was simply patriotic in nature.
It does kind of get under your skin and wow,
Learn a lesson from it.
These students, they were cheering USA, USA. Maybe they were just proud of their team. Do you believe that?
No, not at all. Because if they're proud of the team, they'll be cheering for their team mascot. They could cheer for their team name or, their mascot, not USA. Why USA?
Well, Mike and Karen, take a look at this giant piece of crumbled metal here behind me. It came crashing down earlier this evening onto the north and southbound lanes of Bandera Road during rush hour traffic. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the video we shot earlier. It smashed the window of this Ford Explorer. The driver didn't want to go on camera, but he says he's grateful the metal didn't hit him in the face. You can see where it impacted his window. A company named Mastech was stringing up transmission lines that were running from Grissom Road to Bandera, and somehow during the process, the transmission tower collapsed. The lines that landed on the ground were not energized. However, when the tower came down, it did take out 2 circuits, knocking out power to about 6,000 CPS Energy customers.
I think it's pretty crazy. It's really unexpected. You don't see this every day. You're supposed to think that they're safe and not supposed to crumble down.
CPS Energy made temporary repairs to the circuit so residents can have power tonight. However, a portion of those residents may experience another outage tomorrow as crews make permanent repairs. As of 8:30 tonight, 12 homes were without power. Now, there are no reports of any injuries, and officials are still investigating what caused this tower to collapse. Reporting live from Leon Valley, Christina Coleman, Fox News at 9.